Welcome to Greene Conversations. I'm well aware that you enjoy every episode, and I can assure you that this time around it's even extra, extra. So, on this theme's topic, which is money and meaning, we're going to be discussing on patterns amongst ourselves that is being passed down to how we manage money, and how we become something else to other people as well as the whole society. So we're seeking to understand how our financial identities and behaviors are also shaped. So through this conversation, we hope that we uncover, lasting effects on ourselves and our influences relating to people as well. Very welcome to Queen Muriel.
Hi.
Yes,
Hi, how are you?
very well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
I'm excited to have you in
I'm
this
so happy to be here.
I mean, you're a lady that leaves out your name. I mean,
Aw.
queen in every way.
Aw,
I
thank you.
specifically call you the uplifting queen.
Aw, that's so sweet, thank
Yes,
you.
you're welcome. So Queen Muriel is an applied psychologist that help people deal with emotional pain and traumas.
Yeah.
Most people do not know that they deal with emotional traumas or even have them, but she is the voice that is safe, that
Okay.
uplifts. I love this so much. So this is why we have her here today.
Thank you,
So
thank you. Thank you.
welcome. A lot of us have how we grew up.
Yeah.
There are certain patterns that we're used to.
Mhm.
I know that we're on the theme, money and
Yeah.
everything, but it takes setting stages before you get to that angle.
Yeah.
So my question now is for people who grew up in an affluent home, let's just say, they're just okay. They're not poor, yes,
Yeah.
yes, and you see that when they grow up, they're unable to keep their monies together and money coming, they just think they
Spend
want to
it, yeah.
spend it. Yes, that is one aspect. The second one is that they have money and then they feel the need to always show to the world that, oh, I am like this and I am like that, whereas at the background it's like 000.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying this because it might be from family,
Yeah.
it might not, it might be from friends. So in this area, what would you say, or what do you have to say?
I think it's congratulations on these episodes because this is
Thank
such a
you.
needed conversation.
Thank you.
A lot of people have an extremely poor relationship with money, and they never realize that their relationship with money came from their parents or they came from the things that they saw growing up, in the sense where maybe they didn't have a lot of money growing up, and now they finally earned their first 100K or their first 500K.
Yes.
And now it's time to show the world that I finally arrived. Like I finally made it, like you cannot stop me. And you would find it comes from a place of maybe somebody bullied them in school for not having money. Maybe they never had the uniform to wear. Maybe they never had the latest phone and the latest outfit. Do you understand? Then you have a different group of people. They never knew what it's like to not have the latest of something. If the BlackBerry was out, they had it.
Yes.
If the new Nike shoe was out, their parents got it for them. So they never knew what it's like to not have
Not
the latest
have.
thing. So then they don't have value for money. They don't respect money, and they think money will always come because it was always around. Do you understand? So it's a different group of people now because they don't yet know, oh, I have to invest this so it can multiply. I have to save this so it can multiply. We have so much saving platform. Shout out to PiggyVest.
Yes, please.
You know,
Yes,
so much.
because I've used
Yeah,
that.
so so much platforms that are birthed to, be able to, allow people to save and invest their money. But you are not going to see the value in investing your money if you don't understand the value of investment. If you feel like you're living hand to mouth or paycheck to paycheck, you don't even think about investing. To tell you the truth, it's really our Caucasian counterparts that really understood investment, like as forerunners, that they invest for their great, 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 great grandchildren. It was seldomly, our,
Spoken about.
people, qua, skin color that understood later. You build wealth through investment. If you ask an ordinary 20-year-old or 25-year-old, what are the ways of building wealth? They don't know. But all of them actually want to be
They want,
wealthy. Do you
yes.
understand? If you ask them, okay, how does delayed gratification help you in building wealth? They
Same.
also do not know because nobody ever taught them,
Mm.
hey, if you stop here and you delay this gratification with this money, what's
That's
going to
what you
happen
get.
is it's going to help you to build wealth in the long run.
Mm.
If you ask them, okay, where is your money burning the most? Like, what is taking money out of your pocket?
Mm.
I remember I had a mentor of mine who told me, wherever you are ignorant, money will leave your pocket. And I remember
Mm.
saying, what does that mean? And he said, I remember the time he told me, you are not a mechanic. Therefore, you have no knowledge on fixing any car. So you are ignorant in that department, which means money will have to leave your pocket because you don't know it. So then
Mm.
you have to ask yourself, where are the areas of my life that I'm okay being ignorant in? I am
Wow.
very okay being ignorant as a mechanic. Like, God bless everybody. Like I probably
So
need to have
you
a conversation
pick
with
where
myself when it
you
comes to
pick
like
where.
value for cars.
Mm.
And that's the people that love cars. Oh my God, car, car,
Car.
car. When I think about it, I'm like,
Okay.
you
Mm.
know where I'm coming from. So it's just very important to just in line of your purpose, in line of where you're going.
Mm.
And then you have a different set group of people who their parents are the first generation of wealthy. So their parents are extremely frugal. Like they hoard money.
Mm.
As I was telling your project manager before this, it's like, you have people where they would park a $20,000 car in front
Out
of a
there.
hut. Like you see a hut, like there's no space for the
Yes.
kitchen, there's no space for anything,
Mm.
but then you have a beautiful brand new
Yes.
car. You're hoard, and unfortunately, I know stories of people who saved maybe up to like $200,000, for example, and then they died. And if you saw the condition that they were living in, if you saw what they were eating, if and then they died from suffering of not taking care of their
So
body.
they're just
Do you
building,
understand?
building,
Because
and
it's
not.
like I have to build, I have to hoard this money. And so their relationship with money is just not healthy. It's non-existent.
Hmm.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So just like you have relationship with people, you have to think about what is my relationship with money?
Hmm.
How do I see money? How do I use money?
Wow.
How do I invest money?
Wow.
How do I give? Like, am I just going to be giving every day, everywhere? And
Mm.
when you budget, you can also budget your giving. For
Mm.
example, for the month of July, I'm going to allocate 200K to giving to the poor.
Mm.
Do you understand? Then if you see the guys on the road, if you see some kids that need some, if you know an orphanage or something, you know that when that 200K caps,
Yes.
your giving for that month has
Mm.
also capped. Unless the Holy Spirit asked you,
Yeah.
to lend extra. Do you understand? So you want to look at where your funds are going so that you're a good steward, so that you're responsible, so that
Yes.
God can trust you with more.
Mm.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This is humbling for me
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not just a host right now,
Yeah.
right? Because you are talking out of something you have experienced from
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
and all of that. I have been in that kind of
Mm-hmm.
situation
Mm-hmm.
where, oh, I have this, I have this, I have that,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm giving this and giving that and giving that.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point I'm like, okay, I give this and give that and it's good, but how about me? Like,
Yeah.
yes, so
What do I have?
yes,
Yeah.
so it brings me to the part where you are giving so much of
Yeah.
yourself
Yeah.
that you are not keeping that much
For
for yourself.
yourself. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you are not a lover of
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Yeah.
So moving to that investment
Mm-hmm.
area, talking about, oh, you're not having it now, but as you build,
Mm-hmm.
as you keep,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to help. And then you're
Yeah.
saying now that you can arrange this money so much that when you're
Mm-hmm.
giving this people, it is useful and then you don't feel drained, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. So the question now is
Mm-hmm.
for those ones who feel the need to
Yeah.
always give here and give there,
Mm-hmm.
and at the end of everything, they do not have
Yeah.
anything at all
Yeah.
because they do not want to be paid. Oh, you're not nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you're this and that. But some people, it's not because they don't want to be paid that way. They
Yeah.
just feel like they're created
You have
that
to.
way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So what
You.
would you say to
Mm,
those kind of people,
mm.
the givers?
Yeah,
And
I think when you are a giver, you
yes,
have to be very mindful of your boundaries because takers don't care.
boundaries.
Like people who are takers don't care. They will
Mm.
keep taking from you, right? So you have to have healthy boundaries, but you also have to check your people pleasing tendencies,
Okay.
because you want to please people. Therefore, you want to overgive of yourself so that person can validate you. So that's how you feel good. The giving is not actually what makes you feel good,
Okay.
right? It's the validation of the person that you're giving to that
Wow.
makes you feel good. So then
Wow.
you need to ask yourself, you need to switch your validation system in finding out who or what should validate me. And when you understand, like, my validation comes from the Lord. So, funny enough, I just remembered I was having a conversation with a very good friend of mine, and I wanted to explain to someone why I no longer desire to be in communication with them.
Okay.
And yes, and it's good because you can hear tough conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "You don't have to explain anything to them. Just come out of their lives.
Cut off.
Don't answer them anymore." And I said, "That's not who I am."
Mm.
And I said, "That is not who I am. I am kind regardless of who's on the other side."
Mm.
Do you understand?
Yes.
I want to be kind regardless of who's on the other side. I want to be thoughtful regardless of who's on the other side. I want to be considerate regardless of their behavior. I want to be
Yes.
able to say, "You know what? You
I
have
don't
done
want
a
this.
couple of things now. This is like 10 things that you have done.
Mm.
I have spoken to you about things that you have done, and it
No
doesn't seem like
changes.
you want to respect my boundaries.
Mm.
Therefore, we can stay acquaintances, but please, I
I
no
don't want
longer
this
desire to
anymore.
be in communication with you."
Mm.
And I will leave it as that.
Mm.
And my friend was like, "Hey," she was like, "Here we go," here, because I know myself. I know that if I value someone
Yes.
and I value them being around, etc., I am not going to just disappear. I'm
Mm.
going to tell you one time. I'm going to tell you twice. I'm going to tell you 3 times. I don't like the way you spoke to me. I thought that was very mean. I'm going to sit down and tell you. But
Mm.
if I reach up to a couple of flags where it has become a carnival, that's not a red flag anymore, that I'm now living through a red carnival,
Mm.
and it's draining me and it's not helping me, I am going to let you know.
Mm.
Do you understand? And then I'm
Yes.
going to go. But coming back to the money part, there's a saying that goes, it was a man, actually, a very wealthy man,
Okay.
who was handing out gold. I
Mm.
actually learned this when I was working in Edo, like Benin State.
Okay.
And the guy was handing out gold. And he came to a very poor person and he was about to give him a gold nickel.
Mm.
And his assistant said, "No, don't give him any gold." And the man turned around and said, "I give gold nickels. It's who I am. Whether
Okay.
the person is already rich or not rich, it is
It's a
who I
function of
am
me.
to
Yes.
give gold." So it comes down back to, in your giving,
Mm.
why are you giving? How
Intent.
is it connected to, have people who just go and share money to the poor, for example.
Mm.
You will never see one video of them sharing that money to the poor. Why? Because they're not giving to the poor so other people can know
No.
they're giving to the poor. There are people that give to the poor and you would see videos, but you're seeing videos because they want to raise awareness of how other people can trust them with money to give to the poor.
Wow.
But then you have other people that give to the poor so everybody
Body would
can know
know.
that I, such and such, have gained such and such, and therefore, because I can give
Yes.
such and such, I will
Mm.
do it. We mostly say real wealth is very quiet.
Okay.
Do you understand? Mostly real wealth, they
Do
may be
not make
wearing a shirt
noise.
that costs $500. You would
And
never
it's
know. But you
quiet.
have somebody else that it must say, I don't want to mention
This
any
is
brand
this.
names. It must mention the
This
brand name so
and
you
that.
can know I can afford this brand.
Mm.
But real wealth, people who are really
The
wealthy don't
brands
even
would
want you to know
speak.
that they're wealthy. So you will even know they're wealthy by one thing.
Mm.
Maybe it's their car, or maybe it's one particular bag that they have, or
Mm.
maybe it's one thing, but it's not every single thing that their English word, that their validation will now be based on
On.
every single thing they wear to make a point, to prove a point, to
Yes.
prove to somebody that
I
I
can
have finally
afford
arrived and my
this.
watch is the size of the sun and everybody can see
You really had to
that.
say that.
And when they're checking the time,
So you see, yes, this is what. Okay.
the time is now Do you
I
understand?
know,
But
I
it's
get it.
because they never grew up in that way. And maybe they were bullied by somebody, or
Mm.
maybe
So
they
they
want to
always feel
prove
the
a
need
point.
to
So they
show
need to
and show.
please and please. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
So you have to fight.
Yes.
You have to first identify what is my relationship with money.
Hmm.
Then you need to identify what do I want my relationship with money to be like.
Mm-hmm.
And then you need to ask yourself, what steps do I need to take
Mm.
to change my relationship from where it is to where I
Fine.
want it to be at? Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Hmm.
And this brings me to the part where I want to talk about friends.
Yeah.
You know, because we know we say, oh, how did I say that thing? 30 friends cannot be friends for 30 years thing, you know, well, and then
Hmm.
certain times people will say, oh, you need to select your friends.
Hmm.
Or you have a friend for money. You have a friend for emotion. You have a friend for this and that. Are you in that school of thought that your caliber of friends, should be,
That sounds a little opportunistic. That sounds a little bit crazy. Let me
Hmm.
tell you why. Now, let's say if you want to grow in your finances,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
You have to seek out a professional that knows what they're doing and ask that professional for their advice.
Mm.
If you and that professional now become friends, right? That's a
Yes.
different ball game because
Mm.
you built an authentic friendship. But to be able to eye somebody out and be like, this person is good at money, oh, they know how to invest, they know
So
how
that's
to
for that
invest.
touch.
Okay, so I'm going to now position myself in
Mm-hmm.
this person's life so that they can see
Mm.
me as a friend, so that they can buy things for me and
Mm.
do things for me. You could be around money for 30 years and have no sense. You
Okay.
can be around people who are
Okay.
extremely wealthy and not have a cover.
Hmm.
Do you understand? Simply because
You don't have
you
the.
don't necessarily know how to speak to the person in humility. Hey, my relationship with money right now is poor, and I need to change how I
How I
use and spend my
spend
money.
money.
Would you mind? I actually can't afford to pay you right now. Would you mind actually sitting down with me and walking me through the basics?
It's a
Or can you
humility.
connect me with somebody?
Who
Or
can
can
help?
you show me a book I can read or YouTube videos I can watch? You will gain a friend quicker
Hmm.
like that than positioning yourself, pretending that you have, driving in their car, and the
Oh my
rest.
goodness.
Do you understand where I'm coming from? You will
Yes.
win a friend quicker
Hmm.
that way because you can't lose with humility.
You can't lose with
Because the Bible
humility.
says that God gives grace to
To
the
the
humble,
humble.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And there are different forms of grace. There is
Yes.
enabling grace, a grace that gives you power, right? So power to do. So
Hmm.
even if that person were to throw you away, God will not. So God will
Okay.
see, this my son or this my daughter
That's what the
needs
person
grace for
needs.
wealth. Let me connect them to somebody else. And the way God will
Hmm.
do it, you will become so wealthy that the person who threw you away, God will allow them to see that you didn't help my son or my daughter, but
Hmm.
I created a different way for them to be helped.
Oh.
And the Bible says it is God that gives you power to make wealth.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. It is God that
yeah.
gives the power to make
Yeah, it
wealth.
is. Yeah.
On
So
that note,
anybody that is high, that thinks that they're high and mighty, that they're
let's
better than
make this.
anybody else because of what they have built, let me tell you something really. Which camera am I looking at? Let me
Yes,
tell
I
you
like that.
something really, really quickly. There's a scripture that puts the fear of God in me.
Hmm.
It's Hosea 4 and 7. Everybody quotes Hosea 4 and 6, like people perish for a lack of knowledge.
Yes.
But they miss Hosea 4 7 that says, the more they multiplied and the more they increased, is the more they sinned against me.
Hmm.
Therefore, I will turn their honor into shame. So there are a
Okay.
lot of people who have succeeded in wealth. Like God has blessed them with wealth.
Yes.
And they were praying to God to bless them with wealth. Now they have taken the same wealth God gave them to slap God. Do
Okay.
you understand? Or now that I have money, I will belittle other people. Now that
Hmm.
I have money, I will be buying things that are anti-Christ.
Yes. To
Now that I have
intimidate.
money, I will go to places where God is not exalted. I
Hmm.
will be doing things where God is not worshipped. And you think God will be thinking, oh, when you didn't have money, you went to church. You weren't late for service.
Hmm.
But now that you have money, you're
You have
hardly
all that
you're hardly
focus
you're
now.
hardly there.
No
So
time.
God says, I will now turn your honor to
Wow.
shame.
Wow.
And tell me which if the
Who would you
person
turn to?
if the person raised themselves,
Hmm.
I can't speak for them. But if it was God that gave you wealth and you now decide you want to use the wealth that the Lord gave you to slap him with it. I don't know anybody that has done that, that God did not bring back to zero. And sometimes he has elevated them again after they have humbled themselves and learned their lesson. But you don't have to learn the lesson the hard way. Just follow the Bible. Please. If God raised you and he gave you tons and tons of money, right? Do not use that same money to slap God. You should always be asking yourself, this decision I'm about to make, is it honoring God or not? And if it's not honoring God, politely walk away. Because between you and God, you both know that if it wasn't God that was on your side, there's no way you could have done what you have done. Do you understand?
Yes.
So it's very important that, you know, there's another scripture, I think in Hebrews. Is it Hebrews? It talks about English version. I'm trying to remember the Bible in English.
Okay.
I think it almost says, cursed is the person that falls into the hand of God. Because if you fall into the hand of man, right, then God will come and
Please,
save
God will
you.
save you. But if
What
it is
now
God
happens
directly,
when
oh
you
my
fall into the
goodness.
hand of God and God himself is squeezing you
Direct.
from left to right? Who will deliver you
On
from
your own.
from the hands of God?
Oh.
You know, who will deliver you? So I think if the scripture is not in the Gospels, maybe in Luke thereabouts, it's
Okay,
probably,
Jesus, baby.
if it's not in Luke, it's probably in Hebrews. I can't remember specifically. But look for it. Like, don't fall into the hands of God because of wealth. Do not serve mammon.
Okay,
You know?
Ponzi scheme. I give me.
Yeah, like honor
And
God.
yes, for
Honor
God.
God by being a good steward, but also honor God by, because what people don't know is every time you spend money, there are certain places you spend money that you're creating a covenant, and they don't know. And God is very jealous. So which means he only wants you in covenant with him. Do you
So we should be
understand?
careful where
So
we are
everywhere
placing
you spend money, you are
or receive,
endorsing that
maybe.
business. You are telling that business to continue. Everywhere you spend money. So if I go and I spend money in a business that does not glorify God, I am
sowing a
telling
seed.
that I'm sowing a seed, my sister. I am
Oh
telling
my
that business to
goodness.
continue. I am telling that business to stay
To
open,
flourish.
to continue to flourish. And
Yes.
how can I use money that God gave me
To
that
fund
that
something
to
else
fund
that is
something
not
that
praising
God is against? It's a slap in God's face. Do you understand? There you go.
Thank you. This is way deeper than I even thought. Yes, I
Yeah,
mean, thank you so much.
everywhere you spend money, you are sowing a seed. You said it well. You're telling that business stay open because we need you. So instead of
So growth can be either negative
or
or positive.
positive, yeah. So if there's a
Beautiful.
business that is, you know, anti-God, your money should never go there.
Okay.
Your money should never go to any business, any enterprise, any establishment that God will not come and comfortably sit and say,
Say I'm
thank
part
you,
of
my
this.
son, or thank you, my daughter.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you,
Because
Queen.
it boils down to even clothes. It boils down to everywhere your money goes.
The littlest
The
details.
littlest details.
Wow.
And my friends notice about me, like I remember a time we were in college and my friend, she's white, you know, and we laugh about it in the sense where you learn to appreciate the differences in people, right? And my friend sent me a store that was selling a particular blouse.
Okay.
And just by looking at the name of the store and what the store was selling,
Yes.
I said, my dear,
You
my
gotta
dear,
leave. You gotta move.
my coins cannot go to this store. And she was like, Muriel, it's not that deep. And I'm like, maybe we should stop thinking shallowly.
Wow.
No, let me tell you why. God has an agenda. The enemy also has an agenda. Every action you do is either contributing to one of those agendas.
Okay. Okay.
Do you understand where do you understand where I'm coming from? So it doesn't mean like I'm nitpicking and I'm picky, like, oh, you know, some people have conspiracy theories now. Don't use apple because the half apple that's on it was the apple from Eve. And then, guys, that's not what I'm talking about, please.
For clarity.
For clarity purposes. That's not what I'm talking about. But if I know a business exploits children
Yes.
or a business, and they have been caught in court. There are videos, there are different things where you see that they're exploiting kids, for gain, where you see that people are being trafficked, there's sex trafficking. There are certain projects that are very dear to my heart. And I'm very, as much as I love psychology, I'm very particular about education. Fun fact, I actually was going to be the minister of education in my country. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
I'm so proud
Yeah,
in that
yeah.
line.
So education is very important to me. I
Mm,
love like the
getting knowledge.
even the thought that there are certain kids out there today that don't have access to quality education is a huge burden and a pain point for me. That they can't read and they can't write is a huge pain point and a burden for me, to the point where I know I've been a part of the solution to a certain degree, but I want to be a stronger point of of solution in that, especially in Africa, Nigeria,
Mm,
etc., right? So
yes.
it's in the sense where if I know a company is exploiting children and they're doing manual labor and there's recordings and and different things like that,
Yes.
I am not going to turn a blind eye and buy something just because it looks good. Do you
Mm.
understand? I'm not going to do that because I'm not endorsing the back end of your work. Do you
Whew.
understand? So
Mm.
that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Queen, queen, queen.
God, God, God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. I'm going to be moving towards the area of
Okay.
parenting.
Mhm.
There's that two sides to
Mhm.
it. The ones that feel like, oh, the field
Mhm.
around it, and the ones that are
Mhm.
on it
Mhm.
already. Okay. So the question is for the parents who I've never had that kind of conversation
Yeah.
with the children, but
Mhm.
now they're seeing the children, and they have that. Why can't you send me money? Why can't you do this with money? But they do not remember that this child that you are expecting money from
Mhm.
wasn't taught
Yeah.
how to behave
Mhm.
with money. So whatever
Mhm.
money this person is getting
Mhm.
has no business with whether you gave them.
Yeah.
My parents did this, so now I'm
Mhm.
grown. I have this money. I should give
I
back to
should
them.
give back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So so what do you have to say to them, to say it's not because you trained them or you
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
this for
Mhm.
them. That was your
Yeah.
responsibility.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say to that
Yeah. So the
set
kids
of
speaking to the
the
parents.
parents?
Okay.
Yes.
The first thing is always identify what is happening, right?
Okay.
So you are then identifying that my parents have an entitlement mentality
Mm.
to something that they didn't
Consi-
I teach me,
Teach me,
give me,
yes.
build with
Insight
me,
on.
or anything like that. Do you
Mm.
understand? Like you didn't raise me to think about, these type of things. So
Yes.
identify, okay, my parents are entitled. Identify as well, I also need to honor my parents
Mm.
in whichever way that may look like. So you have to sit down with yourself. In what way would I like to honor my parents?
Mm.
Whether they will agree with the amount you give them is different. Whether you have no amount to give them for the next 6 months is also different.
Mm.
But you can't, I would always tell people, avoid quarrels with your parents.
Okay.
Avoid going back and forth, screaming, shouting. Avoid those things. Just clarify what you would like to say. And then, in what you are saying, then give them a chance to catch up. And
Mm.
sometimes it takes them like 5, 6 years. Like I would say that I have really great parents. I
Mm.
think that my mother's an angel.
Mm.
I really believe that with all my heart. Matter of
Oh.
fact, my mother is the reason I wanted to know Jesus,
Mm.
not a pastor. Because explain to me how it's raining
Mm.
like thunderstorms. And she goes outside and she says, in the name of Jesus, cease now.
Wow.
And the sun
Everything.
comes out,
Oh my
the
goodness.
rain stops. So this is me as a 7-year-old.
Yeah, like,
Who is she talking to? What
oh.
does she know? Do you understand? My sister would go. My sister would say she's going out to school, and my sister went out with boy. Sorry,
Mm.
sis, in case you see this, she's married now with kids. Everything is well.
Hallelujah.
And my sister went out with boy. My mother will come and say, "Where did you go?"
Mm.
"Oh, mommy, I was at school." "So why did God show me in my dream that you were out with such and such
You'll be
and
like,
such?"
this your God is
And
so
then this, my
annoying.
mother's prophetic, is not halfway prophetic. It's,
Up.
it's full prophet, is name and place attached. Do you understand? So
Details.
my sister will now just be looking.
Like,
Ah,
wow. Is there like a monitoring
mommy, I'm
you?
sorry. Mommy, I'm sorry. Do you know,
Oh,
it was
so
to
it
the
pushed
point
you.
where there was a time where I was sitting in church and somebody gave me money to hold for my mother. Because my mother actually, that woman with money, bro. If my mother was raised in this age, I would have to think about working, Like my mother and her mind with money, she was a treasurer. So
she treasured it.
She treasured. When she gave up the position after 20 years, the new treasurer came to ask her, please teach me your ways. But they stole money from me. A friend was sitting down next to me and stole money from my bag that somebody gave me to hold from my mother. They stole about $500 thereabout. And the girl who was sitting next to me stole the money, but didn't want to tell anybody she stole the money. I'm not going to say her business of why she stole it, Yes. But I remember thinking, my mother knows me to be the most responsible person. How am I going to explain her? I've lost the money. So I called my older sister. I'm a teenager at this point. And my older sister goes, don't worry, I'll cover the money. It's okay, don't tell mommy. I'll pay for it. How do you explain my mother calling me, dreamt who stole the money from my bag?
Okay, that's enough for you to choose our leader.
Do you understand?
The God that was good. Yes, I get that.
I'm just coming down to the point where, although I can say all of these wonderful things about my mother, there are certain things that I didn't want to do anymore that my mother insisted that I did, and I knew it wasn't a part of who I am. And she was angry about it. I remember having to call, and I'm just sharing this for someone. Do not quarrel with your parents in a sense of, mommy, I know you don't understand why I want to do this, and I respect you disagreeing with me, but this is the choice I have made. Yeah. And when she went on and on, I just used to be like, like, I'm not going to quarrel with you. And it's hard. It's hard to keep your mouth. And my mother can't talk, so just keep going. And at some point I remember she just wouldn't stop. And I called my sister and I said, if mommy doesn't stop with this thing, she's going to lose the relationship that she has with me. And when my sister told her that, she stopped. Wow. She stopped, nagging about that particular point. So it's just in the sense, because parents are not accustomed to their kids giving them boundaries. Because kids are not supposed to have boundaries. They're just supposed to do what they're told. So you have to train them to understand your boundaries. Yes. But the way you train them is not disrespecting them. It's enduring. The Bible talks about the fruit of the Spirit being long-suffering. Like, endure the fact that they cannot yet see your vision. If it was up to my mother, I would have been a banker. I would have been because she liked it so much. And then when I transferred from banking, when I didn't even go into banking at all, actually, and I went into government, she was happy because everybody was praising her. Oh my God, your daughter is wonderful. And then I'm in the newspaper every other day. So they stopped by her office. Oh my God, your daughter. So when I told her I had a vision from God to stop everything I'm doing and to go and do psychology, my mother said, excuse me. No. Why would you do that? No, don't leave. No. She was hyperventilating. The same woman that raised me to know Jesus and to hear God's voice for myself was the same woman who was hyperventilating, shaking in the knees. No, you can't. And I'm like, Mommy, I know God. And this is what God. And today, she's like, oh yes, my daughter, yes.
Really listen
so
to
you have to give your parents a chance to catch up, especially creatives. Telling your parents you're holding camera, and telling your parents you're holding painting to draw, and telling them you're singing.
How aimless can that be?
This child, what am I doing with this child? Let your parents catch up to your greatness.
Okay.
Do you understand? Not because they gave birth to you means that they can see and understand the greatness in you and cultivate that greatness in you. Do you understand?
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you. And then the second part of the parenting is for those that are, or let's just say the recent parents. So is it safe to talk to your kids about money? I mean, I saw something on the internet the other day, and then the baby, the mother was like, oh, well, how much is this? How much are we talking about? And it's like $1,000, and they kept raising, and I'm like, okay. So 100%. At what point should the parents talk about money?
At the point you can understand.
Wow.
At the point, let me tell you something my father did for me. I think I was a teenager, but my father always saw my beauty even if the kids in school didn't, unfortunately.
Okay.
Thank you, Daddy. So I remember one day my father came home. He counted all of his like checks, he brought them out in money because my father did different things. And he sat down and he said, count this money. So here I am at the table, counting money, and I don't understand what I'm doing. Then he looks at me and he says, never let a man make you dumb for money. Never do anything with, I think he's very, very old school and very militant. So I think it's God that helped him, because some of the things he does, you can't explain. And he said, never let a man make you dumb for money. Never take off your clothes or think you need to do anything because of money. If we don't have it, I will work for it. Do you understand? And he packed up all of the money and he went with wherever he went with it and put it in the bank or whatever it was. Can I tell you, maybe like 2 weeks later, I was going to, so after school, my parents enrolled me into like an afternoon school program where I get to be with other kids and stuff, right? I was going to this program and a man saw me, and I guess he thought maybe he got away with it with other girls. So he pulled out a stack of money out of his pocket, and then he started to like count it in front of me. Like, I can buy you, I can, and then I'm looking at him like I'm fully confused as to what he's doing. It wasn't until I was older and then I saw how girls my age behaved for money that I understood the value of what my father did. Because I was I was looking at the man like he was adding dirt in his cornflakes. I was very confused. I was like, what is he doing? Why is he counting this money in front of me? Why is he trying? I was very confused.
Like, you understood it on the long run.
But when I grew up and I saw that, if I sleep with him, he will give me money to buy hair. And if I sleep with him, he will give me money to go traveling. And if I sleep with him, he will do this. If I sleep with him, he will do that. That's when I understood that what my father was saying. And my father is a no joke type of person.
Nonsense.
Like, if my father tells you he will do something, please count that thing that he said he will do will come to pass. So when my father said, if I ever see you asking anyone for money, I will hang you upside down. It wasn't a threat.
He said
I knew that if he caught me, that there's a chance that I would have been dangling with my head below somewhere, to the point that today I had to teach myself how to ask for things. Like, if I needed something or if I didn't have something, or even I know, for future references for partners, it's like, why didn't you ask me? And it's like, it didn't even cross my mind.
That's not what you grew
to
up
ask
with.
you, because in my subconscious, it's still very much the fear programming of not asking was still there. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So I had to, of course, thank God for psychology and everything, but I had to unlearn, for example, not asking. Like, because my father wasn't the type of person that would give you the leeway to disrespect his children. Are you joking? But yeah.
Thank you. I mean, that brought me to the part where, I have this friend, and then I called her. I'm like, oh, I heard that you're supposed to do this thing, and why didn't you complete that payment? And then she says, Greene, if someone asks you this, I don't want to call her name. She said, if someone asks you, that I have this, if someone, no, it was more like, if someone asks you that who and who can give me this amount of money, what would you say? And I'm like, nobody, maybe just me. And then she says, thank you. And I'm like, why? I said, that's because, not because I don't have anybody. I'm not used to asking.
Yeah.
So, and then probably she has these people all around, but because she grew up not knowing that you can it's safe for you to ask. Yeah.
That's the word. It's safe for me to ask. It's safe for me to receive.
Yes.
It's safe for me to rest. It's safe for me to trust people. Like, a lot of people were not, especially my father raised me as the ultimate protector. Do you understand? I'm going to give you an example. We don't believe in sleeping over in my family, which I am very grateful for, because Lord have mercy, the stories I have, the stories I have heard of what has happened at sleepovers, I'm very grateful that my father never allowed it, right? So one day I begged him because it was at the teacher's house. It wasn't even somebody's house. It's the teacher. Daddy is the teacher.
How
I
educational was
wrote.
it?
I cried. I did the most. And then he
Mm.
finally said, okay, okay, okay. Just this one time you can sleep at the teacher. I was so happy. Finally, I'm out with the girls. We're having dinner. We're gonna sleep over at the teacher's
So I
house.
feel like,
Ask me whose car was outside the teacher's house.
no, not your dad's.
Ask me who was ready to sleep in said car.
Not your dad.
Ask me who was ready to pick me up and carry me
Oh my
home. But
goodness,
guess
Green
no, but guess what?
What?
There was a unwelcome visitor at the teacher's house who was a guy that tried to pull me into a room that the teacher would not have seen and tried to kiss me.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Mm.
So I could
So
be
your
like,
protective
my daddy
daddy
was doing too much.
too
Thank God.
much.
Because if I shouted da,
Ah,
you know, and in my
you'll be able to
life,
say it. I mean,
I don't
because
think I've
you're
ever
really.
fully had to say daddy.
Hmm.
If I say da before the D for the da D, what do you need? What do you?
You didn't just get up.
Sorry for the camera. Sorry for the camera. Before I say D, it's like da. What do you need? What do you need?
Oh my goodness.
Are you missing something? Are you hungry? Do you need to go? Do I need to drop you somewhere?
Mm.
And I'm like, no, 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 no. So as much as he was stricter than what you can possibly imagine, because Lord God have
Very
mercy,
present,
and he was
very present father.
the teachers knew how to get me. They said, Muriel, if you don't behave, we'll call your father.
That is
do,
girl.
you understand? It was more in a sense where he did his utmost best to protect me to the best of his ability with everything he knew that I did not know. Do you understand? It doesn't mean that there weren't areas where he fell short, areas where I needed to reparent myself, areas that even today I'm still unlearning things that he has like taught me, like things that just won't work for my marriage in the future or things that just won't work for my kids.
Yes.
But I'm grateful for the lengths that he went with everything that he knew.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I mean, this has
you.
gone in different directions and it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So finally, I'd like to ask for people who are out there trying to manage their ways, navigate their ways towards finances,
Yeah.
you know, whether from parenting to friendship to different angles, what is that thing that you want to say to them? You know,
Yeah.
it's not too easy, too
Yeah,
late.
yeah.
Where can they like start up from?
Yeah, the thing
Yes.
is, don't be afraid to start. But if you have to, start with baby steps. I always say baby steps is progress, right? You want to start with people that have the knowledge that you don't have. You want to go to people that have the knowledge that you don't have. We have institutions today like PiggyVest. We have
Yes.
institutions today like Money Africa. We have different people who have made financial literacy very important. Go and sit down to somebody and speak to them. We have books today like The Psychology of Money. We have
Yes,
books
please.
today like Think and Grow Rich. We have books today like The Millionaire Next Door. But you were asking, when do you start talking about money? As soon, as soon as my children can say, they can understand where money is going to. See, I'm going to speak to their father. Hey, honey, we need to have a money management class. Like every month, these were our expenses for the month of August. This is the amount of money we spent on your cereal. This is the amount of money we gave to the poor. This is the amount of money we saved. Monthly family meeting. The family meeting will also involve our monthly budget for these
Very
children.
important.
And when they're old enough, this is your trust fund. This is how you will gain access to said trust fund, because you will not mismanage the money that me and your father have worked hard to create. You will not mismanage our money. By the time I'm rolling in heaven, not in my grave, by the time I'm rolling in heaven and singing praises to the Lord, you know, my great granddaughter should say, you know, I've never said this out loud.
Okay.
This is the first place I'm saying this,
Please.
other than the place of my prayers. My greatest prayer before God is that I will live to be a great grandmother. I don't want anybody to raise my children for me. I don't want them to be looking, oh, who should I speak to for money? Who should I speak to of how to take care of myself? Who should I speak? go to grandma's house. You need to learn about money, go to grandma's house.
Mm.
You need, and by the time I raise my own kids, go to your mommy, go to your. I don't
So
want anybody.
it's
Who
generational.
do I learn how
Yes.
to eat healthy from? Grandma's house. Who do I learn?
Okay. It's
Who
the
do
future
they must know that
thinking.
there's somebody praying for me? That when they walk into a building, I'm walking with angels. Okay,
Hallelujah.
my grandmother is at home, rabat for me. Do
Queen.
you understand? I want them to have such a
Oh.
unbelievable legacy that they know that there's God,
And it
you will
has
do
to
it for
happen.
my prayer
It
before
has to
God is not
happen.
even to be a great mother. I passed great mother because to be a great grandmother, you have had to make me a great mother. My prayer before the Lord is make me a phenomenal great grandmother
Hmm.
that they will all gather and be like, our
Around your
grandmother walked
table.
by faith.
Hmm.
Our grandmother believed God. That when I'm rolling in heaven, my children are populating the earth. That's what
This,
we
this
came
is
to
this
say.
this is your thing. Thank you. This is such an
Yeah.
interesting time out. Thank you
Thank you.
so
Thank
much.
you for
Thank you for
having
pouring out
me.
yourself and pouring out your
I
ideas
don't
and
think I've ever poured out
everything.
myself in an interview like this,
Honestly,
honestly. So you
oh,
did a good job getting those
thank you
answers
so
out of
much.
me.
I'm honored. Thank you.
Yeah.
And if you're out there and you resonate with everything that she's said, it's not too late. It's not too late to invest. I mean, there are a lot of them, like you mentioned, piggy vesting,
Yeah.
there
Money Africa,
Money
yeah.
Africa. They are out there. You can
Yeah.
check and get to talk to people who have ideas and how
Yeah.
to go about monies.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you've grown up thinking, oh, this set of money keeping doesn't work for me, things are changing, things are
Yeah.
rearranging,
Yeah.
and there are people that have better knowledge.
Yeah.
Be humble enough to
Be humble
ask.
enough to say I don't
Yes,
know.
please.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. On this, would like for you to share, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much.
Okay.